incredible album, what an incredible outcome. I grip the mic and talk to the people like I'm Malcolm.
Hey guys, this is Param with your tactics lesson for today. Now today I'd like to focus on formations. Now, a formation is how your team is set up during a game, and really how many defenders there are, attackers and midfielders, and what positions they occupy. Such as in theoretical soccer, many positions exist, such as a center attacking mid, center defensive mid, striker, false nine. However, all of these positions can't exist in your style of play, and it really depends on your team's strengths. As if your team is a very defensive team, you maybe want to forego that center attacking mid and maybe play with two center defensive mids to cover the defense. And it just depends on how your players play, what their strengths are, and how you as a coach perceive is the best way to move your team forward. Now, today I'd like to focus on the 4-3-3 types and a 4-3-3 formation turning into a 4-4-2 formation. Now, the 4-3-3 formation is a very effective formation as seen in Real Madrid and Barcelona in their Carlo Ancelotti era and the Pep Guardiola era. Now, as you can see here, a 4-3-3 can be in this formation where there's a holding 4-3-3 with a center defensive mid and two center mids going up. Now, this is the 4-3-3 that's primarily used. However, a classic 4-3-3 looks like this. And they're not being a center defensive mid or anything, where they're being just three center mids, where one is in the center, one's on one side, and one's on the other. I don't think this is a very effective formation because they're all just playing one position and they're all just focused on one thing where they're going back and forth. However, if you play a holding 4-3-3, which I showed before, where along with two center mids, one of the center mids sacrifices his position and goes back into a center defensive mid, and this allows the center defensive mid to cover the defense and gives it more stability. And along with that 4-3-3, which is called the holding 4-3-3, you can have an attacking 4-3-3. Either you can make it two center mids, which operate at the half line, and one center attacking mid, or if you want extra defensive stability, you can bring your two center mids back and play them as two pivot points as center defensive mids. Now this allows you to play with a diamond in your attack with a striker, two wingers, and a center attacking mid. However, it gives up the defensive stability, even though you have two center defensive mid. Center attacking mid type of player isn't really focused on defending, and he would like to stay up a bit with their attacking tridents. Your center attacking mid would like to stay up, which would overflood the midfield on a defensive aspect. Now, a 4-3-3 formation isn't very stable defensive-wise because since there are only three players patrolling the midfield, it can be flooded with any of the wingers coming in, and it doesn't really cover the defense properly. In which way, I think that a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2, where the 4-3-3 is attacking, and then the team reverts to a 4-4-2 formation while defending, as seen in Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid era. It can work very effectively. However, in this, you need to have one of your wingers be an inverted winger where they're more comfortable cutting in and playing a bit more centrally, as if when you cut from a 4-3-3, in any formation of a 4-3-3, your three midfield stays the same and one of your wingers comes in and supports that and turns from a winger to a midfielder on either side, and whichever more attackingly gifted your midfielders are goes on to the other side of the midfield, and the two center mids stay center mids. Now, for this, it should look like this, where if this is a 4-3-3 and say your striker loses the ball here, taking the ball from him over here. Now, in this scenario, right around the center attacking mid, if you're playing an attacking formation, and it doesn't really provide any defensive stability because any of the players can drop back, provide support, and flood the midfield area, which would be really hard to control. Now, in this sense, you can drop one of your wingers back to allow to kind of flood the defensive aspect of the midfield, where it should look like this when defending. So your defense stays the same in the same alignment. However, say your left winger is the inverted winger, he would go up top with your striker, but just play off the shoulder of your striker. So he would technically be a supporting striker, not a full-blown striker, since he's not really accustomed to that position. If he's an inverted winger, he's used to either going around the midfielder or cutting in, so he plays right off the shoulder of your striker. And your and if your right winger is more defensively able and is a classic winger, he can come back and play a right mid position. And if your center attacking mid is obviously the more attackingly gifted, he goes on to the left mid position, and then your two midfielders stay there. As you can see here, now, if any of the brown team drops back, they all have a player to guard them. And also, as you know, wingers aren't really great defenders, so if they have someone to back them up, such as in a 4-4-2, where if he gets isolated with with an attacker coming at him, he can provide support with the other center mid filling in. However, in a 4-3-3 formation, that wouldn't be possible because the midfield is already flooded, and there's just too much going on in the center of the park for anyone to provide help or try to double man a player. Now, in this, you need to have a very quick change of formation, which needs to be practiced in training. So, if you're changing from a 4-3-3, you need to practice in training. As soon as the ball is taken off of the attacking team, the inverted winger needs to go into a supporting striker role immediately, with the attacking midfielder going onto one of the wings, and then the other winger dropping back, and the center defensive mid shifting up to flood the area. For more tips and tricks, visit Parham's 3 T's. Tips, tricks,
Wanna know just where I'm at? Well, let me tell you about it. I put my city on the map, but let me tell you about it. They try to say I can't come back, hey, let me tell you about it. Man,